Hey everybody, Cinema Sickness here with your daily sickness video, and TGIF the 13th. Thank God it is Friday the 13th. Yes, welcome to the third, if I'm not mistaken, Friday the 13th of this year of 2015. That is insane that we've had that many Friday the 13th in 1 year, but it's awesome. Of course, gives us all the opportunity to watch plenty of Jason Voorhees movies, which can't go wrong with that. So I figured let's actually take a look at my Friday the 13th collection. You guys have been liking the last few videos I did of this, things like my Saw collection and whatnot. You guys have been leaving great comments saying that you like taking a look at like collections within my collection. So I figured it's the last Friday the 13th of 2015. Kind of only makes sense to show off my Friday the 13th collection. Now, in preparing for this video, I realized one very sad thing. And that is my Friday the 13th collection isn't nearly as impressive as it was in my head. There is a lot of stuff I'm missing. A lot of things, like sets are incomplete. Stuff I really need to pick up. And it is officially my goal of 2016. I'll start today, but we'll just say 2016. One of my New Year's resolutions, my cinema New Year's resolutions, is to beef up my Friday the 13th collection. Fill in some gaps, fill in some holes I need to fill in. So, yeah, kind of bummed out that it is a little bit lacking, a little more lacking than I thought. So, anyway, let's get down to it. Let's take a look at my Friday the 13th collection. And hopefully next year I can do an update video and show you my collection and how it has grown. That is the plan. So, all right, let's get down to it. So we'll take a look first at the obvious classic, the original Friday the 13th, which I have here on CED, capacitance electronic disc, otherwise known as Select-O-Vision and otherwise known as video disc. This thing has like 15 names. Very awesome. I love that artwork. I've always been a fan of like the circle thing CED has going on. So very, very cool. I love it. You got the blade hanging down there. Very awesome. Just some fantastic artwork. So you go Friday the 13th on CED. And then we move on to Friday the 13th on VHS. Again, just love that artwork. I've just been a big fan of just, I guess, Mrs. Voorhees there. Spoiler, right? Mrs. Voorhees there. Just love it. So some more fantastic artwork. Big fan of that. And then, of course, we move on to the DVD. Have that as well. Very similar artwork, but this is much better looking. But still similar. The reason I have this random DVD release is because this cut, from what I've read online, is a little bit different than the theatrical cut. I believe it's a little bit different than the uncut version. Apparently, this is a cut that was kind of just put together just for the DVD. I think what I heard, again, this is something I read a long time ago, so I could be mistaken. And by all means, correct me if I'm wrong about this. But from what I heard, they apparently took the uncut version and then cut it to what they thought the theatrical version was for this DVD, which technically makes this cut a little slightly bit different in the way it was cut than the other releases. Again, I could be wrong about that, and by all means, correct me if I'm wrong, but that is what I read somewhere, so that is why I have this. I'm just a sucker for different cuts. It may only be a couple different seconds of film here and there, but makes a difference to me, so very cool. Have to have this this DVD release. And to be completely honest, I might get around to getting just all the original DVD releases as well, just for the hell of it. All right, and then of course on Blu-ray we do have Friday the 13th, the uncut version, which is hilarious because it's like the uncut version features like 3 extra seconds of like gore. It's really the uncut version is really not a whole lot different than the theatrical cut, but still it's awesome to have. And if you're gonna watch it, why not watch something with, even if it's just a little bit, why not watch something with more gore? So very cool. Love these releases they did. These are awesome. These the deluxe releases. Very cool. All right, then on to Friday the 13th, part 2. First thing you have here is the VHS. Again, some great artwork there. Love the hatchet. That's great. And then, of course, we have Friday the 13th, part 2 on Blu-ray as well. One of the deluxe releases. Again, very awesome. You know, somewhat similar artwork. I prefer this one, but still very cool. And then, of course, where to next? But Friday the 13th, part 3. I love this artwork. Jason stabbing through the shower curtain, because of course this movie was featured in 3D originally. That is absolutely awesome. I just love that. I'm blown away. I want to actually get this poster. That is just such cool artwork right there. And then, of course, you have Friday the 13th, Part 3, 3D on Blu-ray. So much similar artwork. This is so much better, though, but similar. Still very cool. Unfortunately, not a 3D Blu-ray, but fun 3D. Ugh, yeah, I tried watching this movie. Actually, I did watch this movie. I think, was it last Friday the 13th or 2 Friday the 13th ago? I did watch it using these. That was one of the most difficult things I've ever done. I've watched movies with like this on the big screen. It's okay, but even on my like 70-inch widescreen TV that it's like right in front of me, it's still just hurt to watch it. So unfortunately, what are you gonna do? Now, has there been? I don't think there is. If I'm not mistaken. There's never been a actual like 3D Blu-ray release of this. I don't even think the new 3D or the new Blu-ray box set. I don't believe that is has a 3D release either. That just has more glasses, right? If I'm not mistaken. That's a shame. That is definitely a shame. It really needs a proper 3D release. If it hasn't already gotten one, which I don't think it has, definitely needs one. All right, and then we go on to Friday the 13th, Part 5, not 4. I do not have a single release of 4. I'll have to work on that. So here we go, Part 5 on VHS. So yes, I'm missing all but 2, or I have all but 2 of the Friday the 13th movies on VHS. So that's kind of a bummer. So Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. Cool artwork there. I love it. The glowing eyes of Jason's hockey mask. Oh, that's really not Jason. I don't know where they got that mask. That is not. That's Jason's mask. Not so much that. It's like they took like just like a still shot, this generic hockey mask they found. They probably went, oh man, we need to make some artwork. Run out to the sporting goods store, just buy a hockey mask. They just bought anyone they had and shined some like red through it. Oh well, still kind of fun though. So awesome. And then we move on to Friday the 13th, Part 7. Once again, I do not have a single release of Friday the 13th, Part 6. I really need to get that on VHS. But here we go with 7. Again, some cool artwork there. I love it. That looks great. I just love this classic artwork. And then we move on to Friday the 13th, Part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan, which a lot of people hate this movie. I love this film. I'm a big, big fan. And again, some cool artwork that I love. Jason just looking over Manhattan. The blade coming down. Very cool. I mean, the movie's complete BS. It's ridiculous. It's over the top. But you know what? I find it fun. It is what it is. I like all the Friday the 13th movies. They're all great. So as you can see, definitely have a gap in my Friday the 13th VHS releases. I really need to get was a Part 4 and Part 6 on VHS. I still need to get that to complete my VHS collection. So in time. As far as the deluxe editions on Blu-ray, that was it. They only released those 3 singly in the Blu-ray box set. They actually have all the deluxe editions on Blu-ray and that, but they only released them separately, individually, I should say, through 1, 2, and 3. Unfortunately, after that, never got it. They did on DVD, though, which I should probably pick up at some point because it's cool artwork. I'll probably get them at some point, but that was it for the Blu-rays anyway. All right, so then we move on to Jason Goes to Hell, which I have here on a beautiful Laserdisc, unrated director's cuts, unrated director's original cuts. Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday. Very awesome. Love it. A lot of people do not like this movie either. I can see why, but I still love it. It's Jason. I can't hate Jason. Awesome. And then, of course, also got to have it on DVD as well. As it says, unrated and R-rated version, so it includes the unrated and the theatrical cut, which is this. I think this is just one cut. Obviously, it's on Laserdisc, so yeah. So, very cool. Nevertheless, that's awesome. Always fun to have multiple cuts of a film. And then we move on to Jason X. I love this film as well. Again, cheesy, ridiculous, over the top. Jason in space? What? I don't care. It's great. This is fantastic. I still remember the day I picked this up. I was dating my now wife. I was visiting up at Penn State, and I found this in a little record shop. And I was like, I gotta get Jason X. So I had to pick it up, and I immediately watched it, and I loved it. I remember watching it when I was a kid, but I hadn't seen it since I picked it up a few years ago, and just loved it. So Jason X, very cool. Okay, and then we move on to Friday the 13th, the whatever this is, the remake, reboot, whatever. Nobody has any idea what this movie is. And I say that in the sense that I've heard the director talk about this movie and him not having any idea who it is. I've heard the people, the actors and actresses in this movie talk about it and not have any idea what it is. Nobody knows if this movie's a remake, a reboot. Some people are like, oh, well, it takes place between like, well, I think it takes place after like part 2 or something like that. So people say between 2 and 4. Nobody seems to know. Not even the people involved in the film have any idea like what this is. Is it a remake? Is it a reboot? Is it part of the series? Nobody knows. But what I can tell you is it's not very good. I don't. It's like I don't hate the movie because it's like okay, but what my problem with it is it doesn't bring anything new, which I'm okay with in the original films. You know, they're fun. It is what it is. I don't really expect anything new from them. But when you're gonna like do a new updated film, I want to see something new, something interesting, entertaining, something that makes it more fun. It's literally just a bunch of kids being hacked up in a lake house. Okay, like I've seen it before, and why do they make this? Again, I've seen it's been done, so why make it? It didn't need to be made. That's my point. If you want to do something different, interesting, bring something new to the picture, I would say okay, at least you tried something new. Even if it was horrible, I'd be like, well, at least you tried something new and different. Okay, interesting, but just to rehash stories we've seen how many countless times in at least 8 times in the original series, we don't really need it again. So, like I said, not horrible. It was okay. I mean, it's watchable. Certainly not as bad as the Nightmare on Elm Street the remake. But not that bad. But just mediocre. So, all right, and then we have some Freddy versus Jason here, which I have some multiple things on. First thing I have here is a Freddy versus Jason mini disc. This here's pretty cool. This is actually a promotional piece featuring just some like behind the scenes and making ofs and stuff like that. As it says, August 15, 2003, FreddyVsJason.com. So very cool little mini disc promotional piece. That's awesome. And then we have it on UMD. Unfortunately, no artwork. In fact, I just got this from a viewer. So I have it on UMD. Unfortunately, like I said, no artwork for it, but still very cool to have it on UMD. And then we have to have it on Blu-ray as well. And I love this movie. I thought it was great. I unfortunately did not like the fact that there was no Kane Hodder. Wasn't a fan of that. But with that being said, I guess the reason why they, from what I've heard anyway, that they didn't cast him was the fact that he was too small. Apparently, he needed to be bigger. Like when compared to Robert Englund, he needed to be much bigger than Freddy. He needed to look big and menacing and tall. And apparently, Kane Hodder just I guess wasn't big enough to have that look, so they had to hire somebody bigger. That's what I heard anyway. I think that's what they say in the commentary and behind the scenes stuff I've heard. So it is what it is, I guess. It still kind of bugs me, but it doesn't matter. It was still great. Still loved it. Absolutely fantastic movie, and I really wish I thought this movie did fairly well, didn't it? I thought it did okay in the box office. I remember all my friends went to see it. I remember there was a ton of buzz about it. I remember even when it's out, it was like people were talking about it. It's not like this movie kind of like came and went. People were talking about this one for a while, at least in my area anyway. I mean, I don't know about where you guys are from, but in my area, people were definitely talking about this movie, and as such, I thought it would have warranted a sequel. I would have loved to have seen, even if it was just Freddy versus Jason again. I mean, you don't have to, some people want Ash to get involved, or, there's like Hellraiser and all these different characters people were thinking about getting involved. And that would have been cool. Not that I wouldn't have loved to have seen that. Yeah, bring in a third character. I'm okay with that. I mean, the story might get a little crazy, but hey, I don't care, whatever. Ash would have been great. Had they done that, that'd have been so cool. Maybe we'll get that someday. I don't know. But, even if it was just Freddy vs. Jason again, Freddy vs. Jason Part 2 or Round 2, that would have been cool. I would have seen it. I would have loved it. So really wish that we would have got a sequel to this, because I love the movie. I thought it was great. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's a fun movie. So it is what it is. So that's it for my individual releases, but then we move on to some box sets here. First one we have is something I just picked up, and that is the Friday the 13th, The Collection, with the cool holographic artwork, but with the absolutely horrible packaging where all the discs came in sleeves, which I took out and put into paper or into thin cases. And if you guys saw the video where I picked this up, every single disc was scratched. This was brand new, factory seal. I bought this brand spanking new, and every single disc scratched because of the packaging. The packaging killed every disc. Again, I wasn't all that upset because I bought this just for the collectability of it. I don't really need those discs. I already, as you can see, I already own them. I have other boxes. I have all the movies and other formats, or even on DVD. I don't need to have these releases, so I wasn't all that bummed out. But at the same time, it's ridiculous that they're scratched. So whatever. This is great. I loved when I bought this. This is the Friday the 13th from Crystal Lake to Manhattan Ultimate Edition DVD Collection. I loved this box set. I love the artwork too. Little Jason there on the lake. I love it. This is a great box set. I remember when I picked this up, I was so excited to get a hold of this. I've just loved this box set ever since I first got my hands on it. So very cool. Lots of good special features on here. Very, very cool box set. Definitely one that will never leave my collection. I will always have this. Somebody may be wondering now, oh, do you have the new Blu-ray box set that comes in the tin and everything like that? Not going to show that quite yet, but maybe in an upcoming pickups video, I'll be showing that. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So a little bit of a spoiler alert for you there. So I'm not going to show it off quite yet, but you may be seeing that box set very, very soon. But last two things we have to show here are some documentaries. First thing we have is His Name Was Jason, the 2-disc Splatter Edition. This is a great documentary on Friday the 13th and Jason Voorhees. Very awesome. Again, tons of special features loaded. 2 discs loaded with awesome special features. This is a great documentary all about Jason Friday the 13th. Absolutely fantastic. If you are a fan of documentaries, if you are a fan of Friday the 13th, this is one to definitely own. But you can't just own one documentary on Friday the 13th. You always have to own Crystal Lake Memoirs, The Complete History of Friday the 13th. You gotta have this one. This is also a fantastic documentary. Definitely a bit more complete than this. I think, oops, if I'm not mistaken, I think this leaves off, they're talking about Freddy vs. Jason, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think they talked about the reboot, remake, or anything like that. Basically, this goes up to X, and then they kind of like say, oh, and Freddy vs. Jason's like coming. I think that's what happens in this one. It's been a while since I watched this, so pretty cool. But then, of course, with this one, this is actually complete. This talks about the entire, from the very first movie all the way up until Freddy vs. Jason and the reboot and everything like that. So very awesome, and it's a whole new documentary. I think, if I'm not mistaken, there were like 1 or 2 interviews or scenes that I remember seeing from this documentary. So there was a little bit of, I think, of scenes reused, but I'd say 95% of this is an entire brand new documentary. So I was a little leery on that. I thought, am I gonna get just this, but like the extended cut? But no, this is something completely different. Also, a bunch of great bonus features. Very cool. I mean, look at all these discs. Absolutely fantastic. So very, very cool. Absolutely fantastic documentary. Highly recommend owning both of them. They are different documentaries, and that is why I recommend picking them both up. So very cool. So, all right, guys, there you go. That's my Friday the 13th collection. All the different releases of Friday the 13th and Jason goodies that I own within my library here. Like I said, I have realized, like, again, my collection is lacking a little bit more than I thought. I thought I had some different releases, and I was looking for them. Like, I don't have this and that and that. I was kind of bummed out. So, I think one of my goals is definitely to get part, what is I needed, I think 4 and 7. No, I lied. 4 and 6. I need part 4 and 6. I need on VHS, so I really got to hunt those down. I might even like pop on eBay and see what they're going for, because I need to pick those up. I also really want to get the deluxe editions on DVD, even though technically this box set contains those same exact discs. This contains all the deluxe edition releases, and I technically have 1, 2, and 3 deluxe editions on Blu-ray. I still want to get them all on DVD, so I think I'll probably get those at some point as well. And I might possibly be showing you guys the Friday the 13th Blu-ray set very soon. So stay tuned for that. All right, guys, there you go. That is it. Hopefully next year I can do this video again, or next Friday the 13th, whatever, I can do this video again, and I'll have an updated collection with all those other goodies I said I'm going to be hunting down in 2016. So, all right, that's it. So I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic day. Hope your Friday the 13th was great. Hopefully none of you were murdered by a psychopathic zombie kid bent on revenge because somebody killed their mother. Or killed by a mother who's bent on revenge because people let her son drown. Or a guy who's upset because his son was killed. Wow, there's a lot of different killers in the Friday the 13th series. Anyway, alright, so that's it. So, okay. Or somebody who has eaten the heart of Jason. Anyway, alright guys, there you go. That is it. So have an absolutely fantastic Friday the 13th. I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great one. Be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And like I said, I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Bye.